Okay. All right. So this is not, let me know if you can hear me. I'm having a lot of difficulty with the new technology that I'm currently using, or the new platform that I'm using to make videos. And so the video I was initially going to make to explain Onwa Ifeke, or the third moon, the Ikenga moon, is stuck on the software. So I wanted to go ahead and explain a few things about this moon before it was too late, because the dates for Onwa Ifeke are April 11th to March 11th, right? April 11th to March 11th. So I wanted to get it out in case anybody wanted to join me in the fast that I'll be doing. I also wanted to explain my fast and so forth. So Onwa Ifeke is the third moon in the Igbo calendar. It is the moon associated with Ikenga. Now, I don't know if you've seen my video, Ikenga, but a person's Ikenga is it is the strength or the ability or the power given to them by their chi. It's said that the Ikenga is the gift of the chi, meaning that your chi brings you into the world for a specific reason, or for a specific, to embody a specific reality. And when you move into that space, when you follow that path that your chi brought you in the world for, your ability seems to be heightened. Your ability to do is heightened. There's a proverb that says that, and I shared this in a video, I think it's in the next video, which is also stuck on the software. But there's a proverb that says that if the chi of a blind man sends him into battle, it has already accounted for his blindness. So the meaning of that, or my interpretation of that proverb, is that whatever you are brought into this world to embody, do, and be, you already have the ability to do that thing. Another way I explained the concept of the Ikenga is that your chi, if you see your chi as a paved road, if you see your chi as a road that's already clear, right? Now you can go and you're trying to get to a destination using that road, right? That's your chi. But you can now say, I want to use the bush instead, or I want to cut through the forest, or cut through the mountains, or the unpaved parts. And you can still get to your destination, but your ability to move will be significantly slower. There'll be more struggle with it. You probably can't use a vehicle, so it'll be significantly more challenging than a person who just gets on the road and moves forward, right? So that the speed of a person on a road in comparison to a speed of a person kind of dredging through a forest, that's the difference between somebody who is in the space of their Ikenga and somebody who is not, right? So when your chi brings you into the world, it is not by dictate, right? Your chi is not there to tell you, you must do this thing. These are the rules you must follow. Your chi says you are here this is what I brought you into the world for. And if you follow that paved road, you'll see that things move smoothly, right? So you'll see in a lot of people's lives where one person will pick up something and they'll be able to do it at a proficiency that is beyond explanation, especially in comparison to another person who picks up that exact same thing at the exact same time, and it doesn't pan out that way. With we have an Odinani group study on the Patreon. So if you're interested, go to medicine-shell.com, patreon.com/the medicine shell, and see if you can join in. We got another one coming up this Sunday. But in one of them, in one of the discussions we had, we brought up the subject of Malcolm X. And one thing that I said, I also typed something about him, but one thing I said about Malcolm X is that you'll notice that he spent his early life as a criminal, and there's a history of repeated arrest, right? So meaning that he probably wasn't a good criminal, but that's what he was doing. He was getting into crime and getting into trouble, and that just wasn't for him, right? But then when he got into the space of being a speaker and a leader and a teacher, you now see him perform at a proficiency that surpassed his teacher, that surpassed the people who brought him into that fold. And he was able to do this thing at a rate that said, this is what your chi brought you into the world to be and do in this time and space. So that is the difference between an activated Ikenga and one that is not activated. You understand? And in the next video I'm releasing, which is Traditional Education Explained, I go into the concept of a very African philosophy on teaching, is that whatever it is that you are to learn is already within you, and that it's up to you to bring that thing out. So often, if you're interested in something, it is believed that either past life experience or something about your chi already has the ability to do that thing that you're interested in. That's why the chi works in coordination with resonance. The things that resonate with you are clues as to what that chi is. So that's the Ikenga. If you want like a full deep dive in details, I have an Ikenga explained video that you can check out. The Onwa Ifeke for most communities, either Onwa Ifeke or the next Onwa Ano, the next moon, the fourth moon, are usually dedicated to this idea of awakening or activating or strengthening your Ikenga. The phrase that the person who taught me this used was Ikenga Malite, or the rise of the Ikenga, right? So this moon is dedicated to the rise of the Ikenga. Now, traditionally, this is met with fasting in a lot of communities, and this is met with a period of peace, which I'll explain. That's the most important part of this whole thing, is the period of peace. So the period of fasting and the period of peace. But in this moon, you are to fortify yourself in order to take on the battle that this year, or the battles that this year is going to present you with. So you are to exit Onwa Ifeke, which is April 11th to March 11th, stronger and more able to do for your community and for your family and for yourself than you were coming in, right? If you've been following me on like maybe say Twitter, or even if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll know that the previous moon was Onwa Abo. And a lot of times in a lot of Igbo communities, they consider that the first year, because our belief is that everything comes in twos. So you don't celebrate the first moon as the new year, or the beginning of the new thing. You celebrate the second one. So you'll see in the previous moon, if you look at a lot of the masquerades that came out, they're usually a lot of communities' main or biggest or most grand masquerades, and that celebrates the coming of the new. So that's just to tell you where we're coming from. Now, this one is to sit down and focus and fortify yourself for the fight ahead, right? So people have been asking me, and the reason I wanted to make a video explaining this is I kind of gave an early warning, like, hey, there's a fasting moon coming up. So if you're interested, you may want to start thinking of how you're going to do this thing so that it doesn't catch you off guard. Because I learned about Onwa Ifeke and the rules around it last year, but the moon had already passed by the time I learned about it. And so I was like, okay, next year I'm absolutely going to do this, and I'm going to do a fast and all that stuff. So I searched and I searched and I searched and I searched for details of that fast, right? I searched for the details of the fast. And what I found out was, or what I ended up seeing was that all my sources kept saying fast, 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 but it never said the specifics. It never said the specifics. One of them implied eating once a day, right? Or that in most communities, people eat once a day, so on and so forth. But I couldn't get any specifics, so I do apologize that I wasn't able to present those specifics at this moment. But what I saw it as is like, okay, if I don't have the specifics, there's a reason for it. Or if I'm not able to find this thing, because I'm pretty good at finding these things, there's a reason for it. So I'm not going to focus on how individuals in the past were able to fortify their Ikenga, right? I'm not going to mimic what was done before, because that may not be the thing for me. I've done fasts in the past, and while it does something to me mentally, or let me call it my consciousness, physically, it's not good. It makes me weaker, right? I found out that for just the way I'm configured or whatever, I absolutely have to eat 3 times a day, which is something I didn't do growing up, or I would just eat whenever I remembered to, kind of thing. So I've been challenging myself to make sure to remember to eat 3 times a day. So then when this fasting moon now comes up, I was conflicted. I said that, well, to get to where I want to get to, fasting isn't going to help. Between this channel and being a father and work and all that stuff, my responsibilities have increased to a point where I can't walk around hungry. So I've decided that I'm not going to mimic what was done in the past. Now, if somebody wants to fast between tomorrow and March 11th as a part of the Onwa Ifeke, that's fine. And there are other details that I can share. But on the fast specifically, I don't have the rules on that one. So, and then I'm personally not going to focus on it because that's not what's going to work for my own Ikenga and my own chi as I'm coming to learn my own body and consciousness a little bit better, right? But what I am going to do, or I'll explain what I'm going to do later. But typically, what I did find out in the communities that acknowledge this moon in the way that I'm describing was that this moon was focused on preparing yourself for the battles ahead, but then fixing the issues from prior. So if you have any relationships that need to be repaired, that's one thing that I'm personally going to focus on. This was the moon of forgiveness that everybody needed to reconcile their issues and get ready for what's ahead for the rest of the year. Now, we're not going to carry anything that's going to pull us back or make things harder for us in the coming years or in the coming moons. So this is the moon of reconciliation. I also saw that in this moon, communities acknowledged, and things fall apart. They called it a week of peace. But I saw that in this moon, it was a moon of peace for a lot of people. And that in this moon, you don't fight or argue or speak ill words against others in this moon. You don't do those things in this moon. You don't want to strengthen the oppositional forces that face your community, right? And a lot of this is about community. So you don't want to strengthen anything that deteriorates the idea of community in this moon. So because of that, no speaking ill words, repair the relationships that need to be repaired. Even if sometimes if it's maybe say cutting somebody off, but just agreeing to disagree and making peace in that way, just making the peace that needs to be made. And walking out of this moon with mended relationships and mended sense of community around yourself. And then, of course, not causing or participating in any fight or conflict, right? Not causing or participating in any fight or conflict, other than the one that the thing you have committed to wrestling against, right? So in this moon, there's a focus on wrestling, right? Traditionally, and when I do say fast, I believe, based on everything I've seen, is that the fast was primarily with young men. But again, all this is experiential, so you can interpret it as you want. Give me just a second. So all this is experiential, so you can interpret it in the way you want. Give me just a second. Sorry about that. I didn't want to pick up any extra noise. So a lot of this was focused, is experiential, right? So it'll differ community to community, it'll differ family to family, that type of thing. But the objective is what holds everything together. The unifying ideology is what holds everything together. And how each family and each community then interprets that ideology is up to them. Oftentimes, one of the things that people will tell me about my videos is, each community is different, that type of thing. It's like on a superficial level. Let me not call it superficial. There's the idea of Odinani, right? How it is on the land or as it is on the land. And then there's the idea of Omenala, how it is done on the land. Omenala is a response to Odinani or Odinala, right? Is a response. So you do on the land based on how the land is. So every land, every family, every person is going to do differently on that land based on the rules or the science or the cosmology of that land. The cosmology of this moon is that this is the moon of the Ikenga, right? How you make your Ikenga stronger or emerge or strengthen is up to you, because you are the one that knows what is required to do that. For example, I know that fasting does not make me stronger. I fasted multiple life. It doesn't add to me, right? There's a heightened consciousness that does come with fasting, right? There's a clarity that comes with fasting. And for people who that's the main battle that they're looking at, absolutely recommend it, but I can't give you the specifics on the dietary because you're the one that's going to know that, right? But for me, right, there's two things. There was initially one thing I wanted to focus on. The first one was that Since becoming a father, it has been 3 years now. I've been very sedentary. So I've just been sitting down a lot. Everything I do is very like still and stuff like that. I also work from home, so I don't get to move around a lot. So what I told myself was from April 11th to March 11th, I was going to focus, and I'm still am, is I'm going to focus on exercise. I'm going to focus on physically strengthening myself, which was also a focus in that moon, because at the end of the moon, there was wrestling was done. That was the wrestling festival. Wrestling festivals were done, right? So I'm going to physically strengthen myself. And what I decided is I'm going to do a 2 hour walk every day, no matter what. I absolutely have to get this walk done. And I'm going to do 1 hour of calisthenics and lifting. If I'm not able to get to a gym to do lifting, I will do something at home that equates or is able to substitute that. And that is a challenge I'm going to put forward for myself. Prior to becoming a father, I was a lot more physically active than I am now. I slowed down significantly since becoming a father just because my interest and my focus, I want to spend time with my son. And then, of course, I'm working from home and all these different things. And then I'm making these videos. So I'm spending a lot more time being still. But now that I've gotten the hang of raising a kid, right, I can now start doing a little bit more of the things that I used to do and stuff like that. So it's once you learn how to ride a bike, then you can start doing the tricks. So now that I think I kind of know a little bit about it, I'm going to get back into being more physical. So that was the physical challenge I put on myself. Now I had an Instagram live event earlier this morning, and I wanted to make a huge, or I wanted to issue an apology to everybody because I got the times mixed up. And for some reason, I thought it was going to be a lot later than it was. So I was running my errands, and all of a sudden it came up, and there was all these challenges. And so now we're going to have to reschedule. So if you were anticipating that, or if you were attending, I want to apologize. Time management has always been something that's very difficult for me. It's not a challenge that I was ever comfortable admitting that I had to the extent that I had, but I've lost a lot of opportunities and had a lot of things happen to me because of it. So my wrestling, what I'm going to wrestle is not just this physical exercise thing, but my weakness in time management is that's what I'm going to face, because whatever my chi brought me into the world to do, there's a level that I will not be able to surpass if I'm not able to overcome this thing. I don't have a natural, I don't know how to explain it, but I don't have a natural sense of time, like an internal clock. Whatever time it is, I don't know. Somebody, like, I have to be made aware or look at a clock or something like that. I don't know what it is. I'll probably take a look into it and see if I can do something like that. But it's a challenge I've always had. So I hate that it manifested today. And I want to apologize to everybody who was anticipating the event. We'll reschedule. I was enjoying the conversation, but if you were there, you know how it played out, and I don't think I need to go into it too much further. So time management and physical exercise are the two things I'm focusing on, or the two things for myself. Now, for the community and people around me, which again, the most important part of all of this is community. For the community and people around me, my main focus is going to be on, like I said, with the tradition, mending any weak relationships or broken relationships that I don't believe should be broken or should be weak. A lot of the times the apologizing or forgiving is a lot harder than getting into the fight or getting into the issue or creating a distance and that type of thing. So as the moon recommends, I'm going to do that aspect, the moon of peace. I'm not fighting anybody. I'm not arguing. I'm not doing anything like that. So usually at the end of the moon, the last week of the moon, and remember the Igbo calendar is a 4-day week, has a 4-day week. It is Eke, Urie, Afo, and Nkwo. Those are a 4-day week. So the last 4 days of the moon, right? For the last 4 days of the moon is wrestling. And then, of course, people would eat and celebrate and all those things, and they're ready to go for the year. So the whatever challenge you're putting on yourself or your whatever fight you're going to face this moon, the last 4 days is like a rest and a celebration and things like that, and finally a release. So you go this whole moon without fighting. historically, you go this whole moon without fighting, and then all of a sudden last week you're wrestling and you're doing all this stuff and so forth. So you're eating, you're having a feast if you were fasting, all that stuff. So those are the things that I'm facing. Those are the things I wanted to present in a video, but I'm having a lot of technical issues with getting that out. So I apologize for everybody who's waiting for the next video, which is Traditional Education Explained. And then I was going to do a video which is saying a lot of the things I'm saying now, but I said, let me just go live and do it since that's not working the way it's working. For Onwa Ifeke, which is tomorrow, April 11th to May 11th. I hope I haven't been saying March, but May 11th is a week of, or a moon of peace, a moon of mending relationships, a moon of facing demons, facing the things that you struggle with, a moon of fortifying your ikenga, or making yourself stronger, walking out of this moon stronger than you were coming in. Not just on an individual level, but on a community level, on a community, the family, the people around you, so that you can face the things that the year has to bring with a fortified ikenga, or like I said, the phrase ikenga malite, an ikenga that has arisen. That's really it. I wanted to make this video short. These live formats are not my thing, but if this worked out and you liked it, feel free to let me know. I can do more if it's a thing of interest. And that's it. I don't know if I should stick around for questions. I'm not seeing anybody asking, so I think it's a good time to wrap it up. Again, this is Derek Ofaronwa with the Medicine Shell. Subscribe to the channel. Also follow us on Patreon, patreon.com/The Medicine Shell. All of my resources, what I use to research, I share it on my in-house library. So if you're a patron, you're able to access that. We also have a group chat where I'm live like this and we're talking back and forth and sharing experiences and tackling different comments, which has become some of my favorite, or we do it twice a month. So it's become my favorite aspect of the month. I always really look forward to those. They're a lot of fun. Then we of course have an in-house DBA for those who have been asking me to connect them with a DBA that I would recommend, or that I trust, or that I have faith in their work. And so we have that for our higher tier patrons as well. And I'm also trying to think of more things I can do for my patrons to thank them, because they're phenomenal. They've done a lot for the channel and for me and so forth. Again, this is Derek Ofaronwa with the Medicine Shell at patreon.com/The Medicine Shell. That being said, if I figure out how to hang this thing up, take care.